And you know, research has found that almost 65% of the general population are visual learners, meaning they need to see information in order to retain it. Visuals add a critical component to communication that both written and verbal methods do not, and that is speed.
Let's learn
Let's
an
learn.
innovative way to know of note taking. That is sketch note taking, which is one of the many ways of visual thinking routines.
And we have none other than one of the leading experts on visual thinking routines, Miss Shaila Lewis, to show us the exciting world of sketch note taking and doodles.
Ms. Shaila has begun her journey as a primary section teacher. In her quest of learning, she upgraded her education and professional qualifications to MA BEd and a double BA. Over 22 years of experience across various educational boards, she worked as a school coordinator before she began her career as a content writer, curriculum planner, and editor. She is the founder of Enhance and currently promoting Doodle for Education as a means to take visible thinking into our Indian classrooms. Shaila, over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Might I also add, Miss Shaila is the first trainer we ever had on this platform. And from there on, it has been a great success to educators all across. Thank you, Shaila ma'am. Great to have you again on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so happy to be part of the journey and more than excited to be here on this platform and talk about something which I really, really love and I'm very passionate about visual note taking, which I wanted to talk about it. And I did a lot during the pandemic and tried to reach out to the maximum number. But what I realized is sketchnoting is something what Vrishali mentioned. Is the term that was not really resonating and I started calling it Doodle for Education, and that's when boom, it started resonating with people, and then they got so excited. So really, right now, I want to show you the summary of what we had. Dr. Pinto, who spoke about. Can you see this? Is this very clear? Okay. The entire NEP, the entire talk that we had just now. I'll just try to zoom it a little bit. Yeah. So this is about, I do not know how to zoom this, Vishali, but I'll try my best to bring it closer. So we spoke about how the NEP expected some change, brought a lot of change, and we have our educator here. I'm sure Vishali can post it on social media later. So we have our educators here who began to run with the change, to bring about the change with a flag of change. And then on the way, there were too many implementation challenges. And I would like to spotlight, yeah, the other one. That's the one. Thank you. And when looking at the challenges, the teacher who was, this is getting, all right, I'll leave it now. The teacher basically was facing too many challenges and needed to upgrade, go and undergo training, learn, unlearn, as Dr. Pinto said, and then there were many other challenges. It's basically the challenges got them burdened, but then the teachers did not give up. And, they had to face these challenges and bring the change through all these means. And then came about the role of orange slates, where we talk about the LearnFest. The O stands symbolically for orange. Also, the rays of hope. So it's basically sun and orange. Okay, giving orange slates a little bit of hair and stuff. So it's almost a smiley come sun, giving hope. We have the day one integrate the theme for day one, which is integration, theme for day two, which is innovation. And you see, orange slates has the teachers covered. All teachers held in the arms. And what we are going to look at is going to be integration with art, sports, technology, and SDGs. So this is a little bit of a gist of how a visual note is, just an example for you to see how a visual note can be made. Now, teachers, I don't want you to feel intimidated with this kind of a fabulous one that I have created. Okay, whenever you want to place, or rather portray or present a visual note in social media, definitely you work towards bringing it close to perfection. But when you are literally scribbling it out, see, I want to show you the stuff that I scribbled, the various layouts that I tried. Okay, so please don't feel intimidated and look at it and say, "Oh my God, all our notes have to be just like that." No, initially or right now, when you are taking down notes at the moment, it's going to be very very sketchy, and that's how it should be because a doodle is a scribble. It's a scribble that you just have to scribble your ideas. You just have to bring your thoughts on paper, and how you do it is your call. How dirty, how neat it looks is totally your call, and it is your work. So you should never feel embarrassed to show or to portray the marks that you have created. It is just one mark that you have created. How do we bring this into education? How do we integrate it? I have a small example, okay? And I'm going to show you the sketchy one too. This is a biography of Dr. Sudha Murthy. Sorry, yes, of Sudha Murthy, who is a famous author, and about her life. And just 2 or 3 days ago, I showed this to a group of students. I conducted a workshop, but trust me, even before I could go there, I had something sketchy like this in my hand, something very sketchy. And when I show you, this was what I did in class. All right. So what I am trying to tell you is that you don't need to be an artist to create a visual note. You just need to give it a try. Visual note taking looks very intimidating when it's all this colorful and all this laid out this well. But you just need to give it a try, okay? And that will happen only when you you give it a start. Let's look at why before we go into starting off with some few tips and tricks. I'd like to tell you why visual thinking and why visual note taking. Why did I looked at it? I saw this concept very well floating in the corporate world, and I realized that, and I thought that this was a good idea to bring it into our classrooms. Our students can benefit. Just you must have heard Vishal saying 65% of students are visual learners. Yes. And there is also a difference between visual thinking and visual learning. When you show videos, when you show presentations, PowerPoint presentations, you definitely cater to students who are visually learning the concept. And that creates an impact on their lives, right? They understand concepts well. But when you when you talk about visual thinking, what are you actually referring to? So we all are engineered to be visual thinkers, because when I tell you the word apple, when I say the word apple, you are not going to think about the spelling APPLE, right? But you are definitely going to the image of apple will come to your mind. And that is why I say we are all engineered to be visual thinkers. We think visually. And this is one area where in education we have not tapped enough, because according to according to any teacher who is not an art teacher will think it's not my work, right? I mean, I'm not an art teacher, so why should I? I shouldn't. Why should I even draw or emphasize? But my point is, let's get children to doodle something. Let them just scribble naturally, and please do not insist that it needs to be clear or it needs to be perfect. Because let the art teacher in her art class decide that, not for you as an English or a math or a physics or a science teacher who can. So you just allow children to doodle concepts very, very easily and create notes. So initially, let me give you some tips. I've just prepared a bit of a layout here where you can just take down notes, and I encourage you to take down notes of all the sessions that will be conducted in the LearnFest. Here are some tips. Maybe you could just refer to this chart again, and you can just try your own. I've just given you a little bit of a layout. Maybe you could just draw a circle, write the topic. Okay, the rule is, first of all, Don't get scared of creating visual notes. Number two, and I'm just spontaneously creating them. Okay. So number two, just take a black pen and start scribbling. Whether you feel confident or no, just start off. Okay. You write down your words first and then create a compartment around it. So if I write the topic, I need to write the text first and then create a compartment. What I'm doing is I'm using doodle as well as text. Now, teachers, why text? It's because when we only write all our notes through text, we are, we may not get back to the text. Like Vishal said, it looks more worse than what a doctor has scribbled. Yes, true, because you're going on writing every little information. But when you have to create a visual note, you need to filter information. So you need to just pick up words, phrases, and put them just one below the other. If you look at how I have done here, um, okay, fine. I'll show you in the next one that comes. You don't need to stretch your words or lines like all across the paper. You just need to in mentally, create a kind of a space in your head that this is where I'm going to put my information and then cover it with a compartment. You can use a cloud or a pointer or a square. You can use this kind of a template, or maybe on across the paper, you could use different styles of presenting your work. All right. I am so happy that this is helping you. I can see the comments that are coming up, and I'm really happy that this is helping you, teachers. But the whole point is that looking at an idea is not just important. Get it implemented. You try it out first, and I would like Rishali to tell you that we are going to run a contest. So she's going to give you some idea about how you can bag the prize. The idea is that you get started, and even if it's your first time, create these kind of templates and keep probably, and then as you are writing them down, you know mentally that you want a template of this kind. Just write down information, then you put your compartments around it. Okay. Write information, maybe your topic, and then keep putting pointers. Maybe all across you could just do this: topic points, topic points, topic points, and that is also enough. At the end of it, you can just use one color to highlight the main parts, like NEP, change, teacher, day 2, day 1. These are teachers, LearnFest. So only the important points. You could just color them, okay? Rishali, over to you. Would you like to tell them how they can bag the prize?
First of all, thank you so much, Ella. Yes, it is a very, very innovative, very new way of expressing what you learn. So yes, what you can do is it's a new way of taking notes, right? And we are doing something innovative, it's something integrating, right? So why don't you all actually make notes of the session that we have from now on? Start taking notes in this way. Click a picture and upload it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, whichever social media you're comfortable with, and tag Orangeslates @Orangeslates. We'll select 20 entries, which will get some Orange State surprise, and also will get to attend a special session on notes taking, visual notes taking by Miss Shaila on Orange State's platform. Thank you so much, Miss Shaila. It's lovely. It's always lovely to actually interact with you and take a session from you and learn a unique way of note taking. And I have one request. One request. I would like you to introduce our next speaker and trainer, our special speaker and trainer.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Vaishali. I'm more than happy to do that. And I'm going to do it in this way. Wonderful surprise through the note, or rather the bio that I have created of Mr. Gavin McCormick. So welcome to a very, very warm welcome to Gavin McCormick. And who is Gavin? So you see my topic over here. Again, I'm going to actually talk about this visual note, at the same time introduce him to you. So who is Gavin is my topic, and there I put it up in a banner form. And I have not put any lines in between, but visually I have just placed my information. Okay, he is the CEO of Regarded Publishing, and he's written his own books for children's stories, and I think, and they also publish books which are very beautifully illustrated. I've seen it on Facebook and on social media, of course. He's a co-founder of these three: Upschool.co, Kindbox.com, and Educational Influence. And you can see further. He's a freelance writer of Life Story of Kenny Dalglish, children's book. So a sports person whose life he wrote a story through illustrations for children as children's reading material for children. And the thought where he writes articles on parenting and children's stories. Of course, he writes plenty of them. He is also the founder principal. Now look at the two words that I've highlighted with color. Founder principal of Kathmandu Montessori Training Center. He's also the ambassador of Montessori Australia. And he was in the past senior teacher executive. You can look at the dates that I've written: Jan 2015 and up to Jan 2018. Educational program coordinator Jan 2006 to Jan 2013. And he is also an educational consultant. But overall, I mean, he is an absolutely amazing personality. You have to hear him to understand what he is actually. So welcome, Mr. Gavin McCormick. Thank you so much for coming here on the platform with Orangeslates.